Joining us now to look at the situation in the Horn of Africa is Emil Kovacs, a risk analyst with Risk Solution Africa. He joins us from Vienna, Austria. Thank you very much for your time. The protracted drought in the Horn of Africa has set close to 10 million children at the mercy of hunger. What should the world do to stem this human catastrophe?
Good evening, and thank you for the invitation. Yeah, first of all, as we know, and also was in the report, the numbers, I think, first of all, the first step, it would be to stop wasting food in the Western world, such as countries like the US, EU, UK, Australia, and China, because they are high income countries and they have good access to food. And there's a lot of overbuying. So households, they buy more than they consume. And a lot of these food is just simply thrown away at the end of the week or the month and end up in the trash bin. And then the other part of the world, they do not have access to even clean water or some basic foods. So that should be considered in the first place. And the second place, it should be that now we are living in a quite serious times that the Ukraine-Russia war goes on, and it's affecting two wheat producer countries, which also impact the exports towards Africa, which even more enhances the famine. So here, first of all, leaders should consider that peace and also the cessation of hostilities, and also the first step it would be to reduce the waste of food.
I mean, what can be done in the immediate? 1.8 million children are facing life-threatening conditions. What options should regional blocs be exploring?
They should right away increase the funding, because funding is there, and it should be spent quite intelligently and effectively, that it reaches the needy. And for that, I think UN and the World Food Programme, they already have the concept and also the program, that simply that what they need also the financial resources to actually to cover, to provide food for the needy. And also here there has to be coordination between the donors and also the host government. It has to be said that the government should be accountable, and also to, to help the citizen to have access to food.
If food insecurity is not reversed in the region, what is the possibility of achieving peace in countries that are facing conflict? We also have internal displacement amongst other issues.
It has to be inclusive and it has to be dialogue. So also that Western countries or the so-called international community has to step up, and also to bring the belligerent parties to the table of negotiation, and also really honestly, when in partnership, to discuss these points, and also to end the hostilities, and also to enable the NGOs and also UN agencies to reach the needy, so that they can effectively carry out their mandate, and also they have the positive impact on the field. But sadly, we are not living in these times, because, as I said before, a lot of resources are directed, for example, now that we see in Ukraine. Those resources, we don't know how they are managed, how they are channeled, where they are end up. We are speaking about the financial one, and also for the weapons. So these efforts, which is go inside in that conflict, it should have been redirection long time ago. And I was in the region also since 2019, and we had the similar locust invasion, the drought and all that. So it's not from today. So it's a much more long time that the international community and also the Horn of Africa faces this issue. It was not acted decisively. So here now on the last hour, because in 2023 and 2024, there will be a financial crisis. So what will happen then if we take in consideration the climate change, the lack of access for the locals, for the food?
So Emil, you're basically saying immediate action and long-term plans are going to be needed.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for speaking with us on the news.
Thank you for having me. Have a good evening. Bye.